everybody, and I want to welcome you all back to the Black Gay Perspective. I'm your co-host Richard, and I've been joined by, you saw these beautiful faces before, my co-hosts Dante and Misha.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
We're back in the studio, y'all. How y'all feeling?
I feel good. How about you?
I'm good too. I'm excited to talk about, the things that, we get to talk about.
Before we do any hot topics, how was everybody's Valentine's Day?
Very hot. That is a hot topic. Valentine's Day was cool. I actually did a friends thing, like amongst my group of friends. Like a lot of us are still single. We celebrate that. So we had like a friends Valentine's Day like kickback thing.
Okay.
Game night thing, and that was pretty dope. I got some gifts. It was nice.
Oh, plural.
Yeah.
Nice.
I forgot. I don't even remember when.
That was on Tuesday.
When, this Tuesday?
Yeah.
I guess my wig too tight. I don't remember y'all, but love me still. If you got any candy on sale, bring it to me. My email is lovemealways@gmail.com.
Is that a real email?
Yes.
Is that LOVE or LUV?
Which one you choose? Whichever one you choose.
What about yours, Dante?
Actually, I had a very good Valentine's Day. I got some, I purchased some flowers of berry and I took someone out to dinner.
Wow.
What y'all go to eat?
I'd rather not say.
Oh.
You know what?
And we're back, y'all. And we're back. We're back to the regular.
Right, with things you with sentences and things. Tell me where you went. Burger King, McDonald's, Slutty Vegan.
No, it was actually Bar Vegan. She owns that too.
Oh.
Yeah. It's in Palm City Market.
Oh, I heard of that place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We might need to show up and pop up there. We might need to do a review of that place on our show.
Mm-hmm. We should.
So what's your review?
I mean, I like her food. I'm not even going to say anything bad about her food. I think it's vegan junk food, but it's still good.
Wait, what? Vegan junk food?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't fill you up? It didn't taste good? It didn't
Tastes
fill
so
your tummy with the taste of nuts and honey?
Richard.
Back with the Black Gay Perspective. But no, last time we were together, it was like summer, like before summer, so like we all have been living life. Things have happened, good, bad, or indifferent with us. Like, what's some major good things that's been happening in everyone's life?
For me? Oh, Dante, you go first, because mine probably was so small, it just went straight through.
For me, I'm just happy that the election cycle is over from last year. I'm glad that that's behind us.
But is this year any better?
Not yet. Probably by the end of the year it'll start to pick up steam. But at least there's we can all relax and not see these
I ain't got that much
commercials
time.
over and over and over again. But my 2022 did end very well because I helped with the deployment for the Georgia Young Republicans, and the final number came out to be 681,000 doors that we knocked on to get out to go vote.
Wow, that's amazing. And nobody came to my door out of all those people.
Would you have opened the door?
That's right.
Yes! I would have opened it. Some stuff may be on the TV and some things may be in my body, but I have to open the door. The door had been open.
Oh. You would have taken a Herschel Walker campaign literature?
Not you. No, not you.
And we're moving on. But what about you, Misha?
I guess my life is humdrum. I go out, I drink, I have a reckless sexual lifestyle.
You know what?
And
It's the pettiness.
I just press replay every week.
Misha is funny.
I am.
Well, we are excited to be back.
But before we get back, what did you do? How was your?
I mean, this year, I think I turned 33 this year, so it's my Jesus year.
Oh, I did say your birthday with me this year.
You did.
I did. Yeah.
I turned 33. That was pretty dope. It's my Jesus year. 2022, the end of 2022 was really heavy for me, mental health wise. I think that's something we talked a lot about on the show. I think a lot of us in the last 2 or 3 years, mental health has been ravishing everyone.
Yeah.
And I think it just really showed up heavily for me in my last part of my life. But I'm back in therapy, so I got an amazing therapist. And also I have found out that I was diagnosed with ADHD, so I also have an ADHD coach at the same time. Which has given me great perspective on my life and like the things that I've gone through and the things I struggle with. So those two major things have happened in my life. I got a therapist and I got an ADHD coach. And my puppy had babies. My baby girl had some babies. That's been pretty exciting. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so happy what they weren't no more.
I love Misha. And we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with y'all in just a moment.
You honestly believe that your music sounds? Yes! Truly, wholeheartedly, I'm fucking doing it! My hand is... They don't know what they do.
Bitches don't want to make music, they want to fight. Which one y'all want to do? Because I'm all about all of it.
You already know what it is. RB3L, Rebel, of course. It's high key, the most decorated artist on this platform.
Said you was gonna piss on this man.
I had no problem with that. I was gonna piss in his mouth.
I know.
And I wanted him to get the heck of me. Piss in my mouth!
Oh, is that what that was?
Yep.
Once I get negative, they can get negative, then we can take it out. Oh, beat you.
I don't fuck with none of you guys. But hold on, let me get something to drink.
And welcome back, everyone, back to the Black Gay Perspective. Again, I'm your co-host, Richard, and I'm with my good, beautiful co-host, Dante and Misha. So we got a lot of things that we're going to talk about this season. As y'all can see that, the topics get real hot, the conversation gets real spicy. But again, remember, our show is all about showing the perspective of Black gay individuals. So you're going to see some diversity, you're going to see some struggle, some contention, but it's all about displaying.
And we're all friends at the end of each and every conversation, right?
Right. We're here to learn from each other. So, but before we dive in, like one of the things we talked about in one of our pre-production meetings was about like the idea of the perspective of the black perspective and the gay perspective. And as Black gay people, what do we show up as first, right? What comes a priority for us first? And as a question that we discussed in our meeting, and so I wanted to bring that to my co-host and kind of have a discussion about that. And how do you all show up? Like, is it Black issues first, gay issues second, or vice versa? Or how is it that, is that a fair question? How do y'all feel about that?
Can it be together? It can't be together. It has to be separate.
How do you feel?
I feel that I don't want you to just judge me because I'm gay, and I don't want you to judge me just because I'm Black. So I think it's cohesive. I think it's hand in hand. It's not one separate and one above and one under. I think it's hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because if you want me to talk about, let's say a gay issue, let's say trans murder, I just can't show up as a trans woman. I have to show up as a Black trans woman or a trans woman that happens to be Black. Mm-hmm. So it's cohesive for me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Or do y'all?
Well, for me, it's Black first. The way how I look at gay, some people might have an issue with it, but it's just my sexuality, it's my preference.
Right.
That's really nobody's business what I want to do sexually with anybody.
Right.
So Black issues that's priority,
mm-hmm.
because when it comes to gay issues, when the majority of people are talking about gay, they're talking about white gay people and not Black gay people.
Ooh. I agree. But as a Black and gay person, my perspectives on Black issues are always going to come from a queer lens because I'm a Black queer person. Mm-hmm. And when I talk about queer issues, they're always going to come, to your point, from a Black gay man. Mm-hmm. So I can't, for me, and I think a lot of people, I also think it's an unfair question to ask us. I think it's fair for us to make the choice to say, I choose one or the other. But as a Black gay man who's both marginalized on both ends, to ask me to choose which of these struggles that I want to fight for is further marginalizing me because I can't show up half-half, right? Because if I go to the Black table with the Black issues, you're asking me to leave part of myself. And yes, I agree. You have a choice to say, I don't want to talk about this part of my life, but someone who recognizes that a lot of our history is very queer. It's very black and queer. A lot of the black issues and black movements have been led by black queer people. So for me, I'm not going to come to the table absent of that because we're going to diminish all the work that they've done and what they've gone through to make it possible for me to be here. Not to say that every time we talk about a black issue, it has to be gay, but my perspective is always going to be black and gay at the same time. And at the same thing, with queer issues, I'm tired of hearing people talk about white queer issues and not black ones. So it's hard for me to show up as either one, right? But I think we represent a group. A lot of us, our community differs during that, right? A lot of people are going to choose black first, or some people choose queer first because they feel like the black community, very much fair so, does not embrace them as a queer person. So they push black issues to the side. Some of us are more prone to know more about black issues. So of course that's the number one thing that we want to talk about. So I think, but in our community, both of those, what we can say is both of those things kind of, we can't escape both of those, either one of them.
Can I ask this question? Is it, let's not say put it to the side. Can we just show up, for instance, if it's a black issue, can we try to show up black first and somewhere squeeze that queer, gay, trans, whatever letter you fall under, element in it with that? Or is that too much to ask?
I feel like that's a question for us to ask our audience. I think that's something we all can individually reflect on. I think it's a question as a community we need to have a conversation about.
Because we don't want to walk around where we can't not walk around not being black because it's the color of our skin. You see that before you see anything else. But we not holding up signs everywhere we go, I'm trans, or I'm gay, or I'm a bottom, or I'm a top. We, you get to know that individual, and then you find those things out. So, it's a sticky situation.
Our experience is very unique, yo. The black experience is a unique experience. The queer experience is a unique experience. The black gay experience is its own unique experience. Right. Regardless of who or how we identify, it's a very unique experience, period. Dante, you want to say final thoughts?
Oh, no.
All right. Well,
and we're gonna, on that note, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
And I'm gonna see how good he is.
Season 3 is a roller coaster.
So if I'm gay, I'm going to hell. But if you lie in your life, you going straight to hell too. Don't let the devil use you.
The real truth was amazing.
I'm gonna stop. Let me go.
No, I can say my
When the swisher gets walked in,
Everybody wanted a big splash. I don't know you, girl.
baby, it went down.
Great God Almighty's gonna cut you down.
Write my number down.
I wish I could. I gotta go home and see my wife as well.
oh God.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to the Black Gay Perspective. And we are now getting into some hot topics. It's been a while since a lot has happened over the summertime, because it's been, when the last time we saw each other was before the summer had hit, and we talked about a lot of hot topics. But one of the major things that happened this past summer, 2022, was the overturning of Roe versus Wade, right? And so, if you all do not know what that means, so Roe versus Wade was about the constitutional right to abortion, right? And so, what happened in this summer of 2022, the Supreme Court overturned this constitutional right and gave the individual states the right to make laws around abortion, right? So instead of federally being a thing that, people being able to get abortions, now it becomes the individual state's responsibility to make laws and act according to that. So with that, a lot of society, of course, has caused a lot of uproar across all the spectrums, all the beliefs, a lot of, movements, civil rights and social justice movements included. And one of the things is LGBT community. I think what I've heard a lot is there's been a lot of work within the LGBT community around our rights and stuff like that too. And so what a lot of this brings contention around is like, so what if they do that for women or people who give or are able to give birth? What are they going to do for the LGBT community? And does Roe versus Wade have an impact on us as an LGBT community? And so that's what I want to talk to you all about. Like, what is the impact of this change on our community?
Well, it's what the Supreme Court justice did was give the rights back to the states, as you said. So depending on where you stay, either you can get an abortion or you cannot, or you can travel across state lines. You pick your prerogative, what's best works for you. To talk to you about the slippery slope that you mentioned, so a lot of people are taking Justice Clarence Thomas' statement or opinion piece out of context. Yes, he did give an opinion about it.
What was it? What was the statement? What was the opinion?
He was talking about I forgot exactly, but he made a comment about interracial relationship and also gay marriage laws that was passed. He was writing about it in some context, so I don't want to misquote. But
what did you take from it?
I just took that was his opinion. That's all. The other justices that was on it, the conservative ones, just said, no, we're not focusing on that. We were just focusing on Roe versus Wade. And honestly, they gave it back to the states. I mean, that's who should have control. The states, not the federal government.
But what about the person?
And if you talk about when it comes to, gay marriage, I think honestly that should be given back to the states as well. I think the state should have more power than the federal government.
So the state,
that's my opinion.
So the state could tell me who I love and who I could marry?
Well,
slippery slope. Well, yeah.
It can be a slippery slope.
So I can love you, but I can't marry you. And I can get pregnant by you, and I can't make the decision to have an abortion.
Well, I mean, a lot of people didn't get a chance to make a decision about COVID shot, but they had to get one.
Not I. I made a decision for my own body.
I mean, well, they not trying to make it a state. Is it mandated in certain? Yeah, but it is individual states too, though, making those choices.
Well, yes.
Where do we live? Where are we?
The United States of America.
So people are actually getting in vans, going to the polls. I don't know anything about political anything. So I really shouldn't be saying anything because I don't vote. But since this is a topic that was brought to my doorstep, I'll open up the door and let you in. So you're saying to me, I can get in a van and go to a voting poll and make a decision for everybody with my choice.
You mean with your vote?
Yeah. So, wait, what? So I can vote and say, me not even being gay, I can vote and say I don't want him to marry him because I'm not okay with it or with the lifestyle. That's what I can do as an individual.
So yeah, it can be put on the ballot and it might be asked that way or not, and then it would be up for people in that state community for them to make the decision. And if you have people that are against your cause, that's what you do. You do things to try to persuade them. If you go talk to your state senator, you write your state senator a letter, you tell your state senator about your experiences, or you tell your state senator. One of the main reasons why a lot of gay people do want to get married because when their partner or significant other is in some type of mental decline, they're trying to make those decisions because they're not legally married, or it's not.
I get what you're saying. So, for instance, if you and I were married and for God forbid you get sick, I have no say so about your treatment, your care.
Married to the law.
Right, unless I have a will written out and I give you, the power to do that, or you have a power of attorney. Other than that, no. I mean, you wouldn't. But it goes back to people just being involved in their local communities and work it up from the state.
And how long is this going to take?
It took people to overturn Roe versus Wade 50 years, and here it is.
And that...
Baby, I see you in the grave, because ain't no way you gonna tell me as a trans woman I can't love you, and because this is what they consider a gay relationship, I can't marry you and love you and give you access to my life or the money that I've made or my house or my car. That's what I get. I get in a van and drive 100 people to the voting polls to say I hate gays and we're going to vote against gays getting married.
So what gays would
I said I'm going to. It's a yes or no question. So that's what people do.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have political power, right, with our vote. That's what we do. So we use our.
But in the black community, it's 100 people for one statistic or something like that, right? So I have to get 100 of you, 100 of me, and 100 of you just to. No, that's. I have to use the restroom. This is what? So that's what voting is about, making a decision for the masses. That's what voting is in a nutshell. Making a decision. We are on the legislative, whatever, and we have sat here and conjured up some law not for trans women to go get breast implants. And if I get 50,000 people to get on a ballot and say no trans people can get breast implants anymore across America, and just because 50,000 people voted, it's a no?
Then I mean you would have to get 60,000 people to agree on yours.
Oh, hell no!
That's democracy.
And this is the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You better say it proudly.
We have that's why we all have a freedom of our opinion.
No, and we don't have the freedom of opinion, because if I kneel at the football game, I can't even get a damn job. What? You know what?
So overall, like this is a very hot topic clearly, and we want our community to continue to talk about this because this is not I would say it's not a black or white issue. It's not as simple as we would like to make it, and we definitely can't cover all the topics of this. But it does have an impact, whatever we perceive it has an impact on the LGBT community and including our right to marriage, right? And so if that type of law, like you said, takes 50 years, something that was established 50 years can be overturned like that, something that was less than 10 years ago can definitely be overturned, which is overall going to be impacting our community. And we would love you all to get in the comments, tell us what you think about this, what are your thoughts, how do you feel, and then adding to what Dante said, like, what can we do as a community to be more politically involved with these issues based off your opinion?
I just want to, can we differentiate the two? When we talk about abortion and gay marriage, one, you're just doing it because you love somebody. The other, you're killing somebody. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, but there's still issues that impact us.
And there's still a choice has to be made at the end of the day. The choice has to be made at the end of the day. Murder or love. I still have to choose.
I have no comment.
I don't like the word. I have no comment on that. What do you think? What do you all think? Do you agree? Disagree?
And some questions we will read on the air, and we will give you feedback, and we would love you to comment, like, and subscribe. Right?
And we are going to take a quick break and be right back after these messages.
What makes my life real?
What makes my life real?
What make my life real?
What makes me a regular person
Is the fact that I'm ubiquitous in this grind, so you cannot miss me.
I want to live, love, laugh, and learn just like the next person.
When you cut me, I bleed.
Making boss move.
I have feelings and emotions just like any other human being.
And that I work hard.
Being independent.
I've been through some things.
I've done the work that it takes to get where I am today.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to the Black Gay Perspective. As we mentioned, we're going to be doing a little bit different things this time go around, this season. So one of the things we're going to do this season is we're going to be highlighting the different perspectives of the Black gay community. And one way we're going to do that is bringing on special guests and special co-hosts each episode. And so today is going to be one of our first special guests. They're going to tell us about themselves and teach us about what they're doing as a representation in our community. And so without further ado, we welcome Rabbit. And Rabbit has a own show, like similar to ours, and what you mentioned was your focus of your show is about resuscitating the living dead back to life using CPR.
That is correct.
So Rabbit, first of all, tell us who you are, if you know your pronouns, or how do you identify within our Black gay community, how do you identify, and what are your pronouns, and just tell us about your show.
Okay, hello everyone. Once again, I'm Rabbit from Around the Table with Rabbit, Real Talk for Real People. Okay, my platform is regarding people who are battling with or is battling with drug addiction, drug abuse, homelessness, imprisonment, and some form of neglect in their life. Now, coming from that lifestyle, now I use my platform to help and motivate, as you see on the screen there, to administer CPR and to resuscitate the living dead back to life. How do I do that? I'm so glad you asked that question. So, okay, as I mentioned about my past history, so I bring people on my show have been through the same or similar predicament that I've been in. And so I let them tell their story, which is administering CPR, because what they're doing, they're helping someone that's going through the same trauma, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, however the case may be. The testimony always seems to help. And since I've been doing this, which will be my second year next month, it has really brought a lot of awareness to the community, to gay community, to the community, just people that deal with an addiction period, or some family member that have a family member that is going through the addiction. It helps them to understand them better.
Okay. So you say CPR. Can you tell the people what the CPR stands for? Because I love the breakdown of the CPR.
Okay.
Yeah.
Care, prayer, and resuscitation. Resources, I'm sorry, I got resuscitation in my mind. I'm so big about resuscitating. Oh, resources. Huh?
Bringing back the dead.
Okay. And then, okay, say CPR is there when you have the concern, the love, and the compassion for someone that you see that their life is detrimental. I mean, by overcoming with drug addiction. And after you have lived that life, you know the hurt part. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a hurting life. You know, it's a life to where you give away, you never get it back. But you can resuscitate and come back to life. That's what's kind of what's simplified the living dead. And then the cares, you know, the cares is just loving, reaching out, spreading the word, telling people to stop the kids before they get there, our youth, because so many of our youth is being raised up in a drug-infested environment. You know, and so then now that's all they know. You know, so therefore, if we don't reach out to these kids at the early age and scare them, because that's what it's going to take, literally, you know, unless they're a beast, you know, and just don't hear you. But if we don't do that, they're going to perish. They're going to wind up in the ground or in the prison.
So how many people do you reach out to, and how many people you think you've helped in your 2 years?
Well, from looking at my views, there's several thousands just from watching the show. I'm so glad you asked me that question. A lady messaged me yesterday on Messenger and told me that she needed my help. I'm like, okay, I'm just not getting your message. What's the problem? And she began to start to pour out certain things to me, and that she had never been to church in so long, and you know, and just by, you know, because I'm a church guy that every Sunday faithfully, you know, I have to be there to sustain and do all this.
Of course, but that's your fill up. You have to get filled from draining out your care prayer resources.
Most definitely.
Your CPR.
Yeah, most definitely. And so, and then that was just mentioning CPR to her just by being on Facebook. You know, that's how she see me on Facebook Live all the time, because I'm always on my Facebook Live. I always say daily, this is the day that the Lord has made. So we all going to rejoice and be glad in it, no matter what the enemy plan, plot, or his strategic move may be. Know that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Why? Because we are much more than a conqueror in Christ Jesus who loves us. So therefore, the joy we have, if this world didn't give it to it, why would we let the wicked world take it away? And so just saying that, I hear a lot of people repeating that. So that means it makes a difference in them, in the mentality-wise, you know, the mindset to bring it to more of a positive asset.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because, you know, some people, we, as gay people, trans people, whatever, we reach out because we try to fill their void from being church hurt. You know, so we run to drugs, we run to sex work or whatever, because it started from church hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes, yes. And a lot of people go through church hurt now.
Yeah, every day.
Actually, I'm getting ready to shoot a video called "I'm a Black Man, Just Let Me Live" War Cry. And in that video, they're speaking about false teaching in the church. People are unforgiving one another, and that comes from church. So this is something that we have to live.
It's a real thing. Yes, it's a real thing.
So you have to maintain your faith and keep your strength in God, that you can bear that right there and overlook that and forgive them when they persecute you.
And that's a good point. I was going to ask you, what is your word of advice for people who seek spirituality but have been hurt by religion? Because I feel like I find my solace in spirituality and understanding that those church things, a lot of people in my community, and some people they're going to be people that I want to love on, right? They're going to be men that I want to engage and love on that are hurt by their church, and then that's going to reflect, that's going to pour that into me, and I don't want that, right? So, like, what is your message of inspiration for those? And you kind of begin to allude to that on, like, the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is God, right? The bigger picture is the higher being. The bigger picture is your walk and your individual walk with God, right? How do we, what is your message to get people to look beyond the church hurt and hold on to that?
Okay, knowing your purpose for wanting to be saved and go to heaven.
That's number one.
That is the main thing, because if you know what the Bible speaks about sin, and there's no one sin greater other than blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, okay? So now, if you know that you're dealing with this here and whatnot, and you wants to go to heaven, and you know that there's a heaven, there's a hell, and we've heard the stories of hell, we've heard the stories of heaven. But if you know you wants to go to heaven, and in St. Mark 11:24, it said when you stand praying, And if you have aught against any, forgive as your Father in heaven will forgive you of your trespasses. For if you will not forgive that person, neither will your Father forgive you. So what that means is, it's mandatory that you forgive, and that's what's going to set you free. So you got to focus on your destination. You got to focus on where you want to go, where you want to end up in eternity. So you got to learn how to overlook.
And never
it hurts.
And navigate.
Friends hurt you.
Of course.
Family hurt you. But you still love them.
Yeah, you have to.
With all that being said, man, then come here, get my show, because I never thought I would have this. Like I said, graduating from nursing, that is what I thought I would be doing.
That was your passion at that point.
Yeah, and it still is. Matter of fact, I'm about to start back.
You're still doing it, but you're doing it in another form.
Yeah.
You still care for people. You're still doing
it. Prayer, and resuscitate.
There you go. You still doing it.
We resuscitate, but you have to go through CPR.
You gotta do it. Push it down. Push it down. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta bring them back to life, honey.
In that order.
In that order.
We will, on behalf of the Black Gay Perspective, we want to thank you for joining us. I want you to tell the people where they can find you and like how can they reach you and where can they access your platform.
Okay, if you would like to follow my shows, you can follow me on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. And I am on Instagram. You can follow me at Around the Table with Rabbit. Once again, Around the Table with Rabbit, space it. And I will automatically pop up. If you like my Instagram, it will be the same thing, Around the Table with Rabbit. My Facebook, James Payton. You will see me standing in a gray suit and on red carpet. That'll be me.
And we are so happy you came to see us.
So y'all can pay attention. Like again, follow me on Instagram, Around the Table with Rabbit. Facebook, James Payton, YouTube, Around the Table with Rabbit. Hop, hop, and in that order.
Thank you, Rabbit,
for joining us. And we're going to be right back to you all after these brief messages. Y'all, welcome back again to the Black Gay Perspective. We are excited, as you can see. We're back in the studio. Thank you all for joining us for our very first episode back. Do not forget to like, follow, subscribe, Real Life
Reality.
Real Life Reality, so you can watch every episode and check out everything else on the platform. We're looking forward to seeing y'all in the next episode. We're looking for guest hosts. We're looking for people to feature. So if y'all know some, people that you want to see us have a conversation with.
Somebody want to see us get flooded and gutted, honey. Bring them on. Bring them on.
Comment below all of that.
Yeah. All of that. And we so happy to be back in the studio. I'm so happy to be back with my slutted and my gutted. And we love you and good night.